Hi. Today I am at Lake Mary, out the upper Lake Mary boat launch area. But today I'm just sitting in my car. I'm gonna go through all of my Alice Cooper CDs because I have a lot. Here's one handful, and some more, and even more. So, oh, and I got another one up here. So, this one is my earliest. It is also one of my favorites. CD is in my car right now. I don't remember what the inside is. I'll show a picture. Because some of them have designs, some of them have the names. This is 1994, The Last Temptation. Hey Stupid. Yeah, I'll show all of them. There's another one though. What am I looking for? This one, From the Inside. This one's really good too. It is also just a regular CD. Okay, I have a lot of CDs. And some CDs have, like, this one I know is just, this is Easy Action. I know is just the red in it. Not too crazy, but some of the CDs I have, they have album art for the album, but it's just on the CD. It's not the cover art or anything. So the only time you're going to see it is if you have the physical CD, instead of finding a picture of the cover online, you know? But let's go through them in order. Let me organize them first. So, alright. I've organized them. I have these. I have so many. So really, I have all of these, as well as this live CD that I actually haven't listened to. I don't care for it. I put it in the same category as Alice Cooper compilation albums. I have one of them. There's one in particular, Zipper or something, whatever it is, that I see all the time at CD joints and at stores, and I never buy it because I have pretty much all of the freaking songs already. I don't want a compilation album when I already have the actual albums. I want the actual albums. I don't want compilations, okay? This is reflecting off of the plastic, so that's gonna happen a lot, I guess. These are the Alice Cooper CDs I have from the band, as well as the first one I ever bought, which is the compilation album. I bought it May 2 years ago, 2023, I think. No, 2024. 2024, yeah. So that was at the Bookman's in Flagstaff. I bought it along with two other CDs. I don't remember what the third one is. I don't remember what it is. But I know the other one, the second one, was Power Trip by Monster Magnet. My personal favorite of the band. I have quite a few of their other albums, but that one will never be topped. But this one has all of these. So they're popular ones. You know, Muscle of Love, Isn't My Body. I don't have Desperado though. I have all of these CDs, songs on their CDs except for Desperado. Which one would that be on? I don't know. I don't go through the wiki pages and find exactly what CDs I'm missing, because I used to do that when I would take things off of YouTube and go to like an MP4 download website, third party, to just download the songs and listen to them myself. I used to go through Wikipedia just to know chronologically which album they're on, because it's YouTube. You get all of the songs just on their own. You don't get them in album form. But now that I have CDs, I go buy CDs. I go by just finding them in the stores. I did buy, the only time I actually purchased online for CDs was when Murder by Death had their farewell tour that wrapped up back in November last year. They were out of some, so I only got 5 out of, probably the dozen CDs, the dozen albums they have. however many they have over the 25 years they've been a band. But yeah, that's the only time I bought CDs online. So this one, Alice Cooper Greatest Hits. I really like the art. It's got the band members, and it's got a continuation of the page. So it's like that. Right? That is right. It's been a while since I've looked at this one. I don't really pick it up. That. Just normal CDs. Probably lyrics on the inside, because this is a compilation album. Let's see. I've never looked at this. I didn't start looking at the insides of CDs. Obviously, you know, you open it up and you see the paper right there. But I'm getting into the habit of it now that I bought the Murder by Death CDs and I want to look at every little thing. But I never used to. So, first pages are the songs. And then an art. This is really cool, actually. That's so cool. It's got the band members. Containing the smash hits. All of these songs. Other standout cuts on Alice Cooper's greatest hits include The Hauntin', Be My Lover, and the Biden Teenage Lament 74. So, yeah. 1974 Warner Brothers. So that is the end of the Alice Cooper as a band. That is what I have. That is the first CD I ever bought, and that is the milestone marker. The ones before it, I have Easy Action from 1970. This is actually one of the ones I bought last year. So this is a more recent purchase than everything else. So this is the red one. And inside, I guess I'm going to go through all of the inside covers. Okay, got it. So Easy Action. That's the back. That's the front. Got the band members. Oh, wow. Look at them when they were 1970. Long time ago. So if you're waiting for me to talk about The Revenge of Alice Cooper from July 2025, I will get to that at the very end. Love it to death. Again, the CD is in my car. But you got the guys. Oh my gosh. It's the same thing that's on the back. So this is my favorite. I really, really like it. This is my favorite from the band. Got that. And Alive Enterprises production. So here's his eyes. I got a shirt with his eyes on it. I'll talk about my shirts later though. I have bought stuff from the Alice Cooper website online. Not just all these CDs that I haven't bought from the website. They're not on the website except for Revenge of Alice Cooper. But I get all of my CDs except for the Murder by Death ones from places around, and I flip through all of these CDs in the store in the rock and pop section because it's all one big section. There was one Zia Records that I saw had a separate section for metal music, and that was where like all of the Ozzy Osbourne CDs were, and it's like, oh yeah, I was kind of wondering where it was because I keep seeing them like in the rock and pop sections, like at way up there. That way is towards town, so that's why I'm pointing that way. But there's only one place in Flagstaff, and it's a Bookman's. And I haven't gone there in a while because I have so many CDs already, and I just finished going through all of the Murder by Death, the 5 CDs I bought. There was the Record Room in Phoenix. That was the first one that I had been to other than the Bookman's up here. That was like the second CD store I'd ever been to. And I went through all of the CDs. I found the Welcome to My Nightmare CD, and I didn't buy it. And it's the only time I've ever seen it. It was like $3. I got a handful of other stuff, other CDs from that store. And I tried to go back last year at some point, because I saw them in June or July of 2024. And it was just one old guy with his record player on. It was a big store. It was filled. Dude. And I drove back down to meet up with some people, and I wanted to drive by it again and see if it's still open, and maybe I can get the Welcome to My Nightmare album so I can have the CD. It's not my favorite album, so that's why I didn't spend my money on it. But now that I have so many Alice Cooper CDs, I might as well buy it when it's $3. And it closed. It was closed. It's still up on Google Maps. Last time I checked, which wasn't recently, but it closed. Which makes sense. The man was old, and I was the only person in there. Like, it was not a busy place. It was not a Bookman's or a Zia Records that has a corporation behind it. It was just one guy. There were so many records, so many DVDs, so many CDs, everything. Milk crates on top of milk crates underneath the plastic fold-out tables. Like, there was just so much in there. So, unfortunately, it's gone. I will never forget it. Alright, next one is School's Out. I listen to CDs unless I genuinely cannot listen to them. Like, I just cannot listen to a certain type of music. There's one that I have, Prog. Folk albums have really cool art, but I know if I buy it for the art, I'm gonna hate the CD because I don't like that music. I got to like the middle of the second song, but the only way I was able to get to that point is because I laughed the whole time, and then it was like, okay, it's not funny anymore, I actually hate this, and I haven't listened to it since, but I still have the CD. So that's an example. Point is, except for that, and maybe another one, like, again, I didn't listen to the Alice Cooper live CD, so that's another one I don't have, but for the most part, I listen to all of the CDs I buy, because that's my money, why wouldn't I? But if I don't like it, I don't listen to it again. So this is the ones that I have not listened to since I bought it and listened to it for the first time. So School's Out, 1972. It's got all of these songs. He always plays School's Out at every concert. I've gone to 2 of his concerts. I can talk about that later. I don't think I've heard any of these other songs ever since. I certainly would not be able to recognize them. So inside, more Warner Brothers contracts. So there's the inside. I've never read this, by the way. Probably, since I already keep saying that. But, wow, this is a history on Alice Cooper. Taking their name from an Ouija, whatever, board reading. Alice Cooper was built around the singing and performing talents of Vincent Fierner, a Phoenix, Arizona minister's son, which is Alice Cooper. In 1968, the group moved to LA and signed with Frank Zappa's Straight Records label. 2 albums, Pretty's for You in 1969 and Easy Action 1970, which I have, heralded the arrival of a potent and provocative new band intent on upending the musical status quo with an outrageous stage show and a repertoire that was by turns macabre, scandalous, and hilarious. They relocated to Detroit in 1970, which is why Detroit Stories exist. I also have that one. Don't like it. So, I don't have their first ever album from 1969. I have their second album, Easy Action. I figured I didn't have their first album. Next one, $1 Billion Babies. So, bought this one, I think at the Bookman's in Flagstaff. So Bookman's has stickers. You'll see the stickers on the back. And it says the date that it was gone through in inventory. This has No More Nice Guy, $1 Billion Babies, Hello Hooray, which is on the compilation album. I Love the Dead. Wow. I love that as a final album. That is such a send-off. That's so good. So inside, just normal. You understand it's meant to be, I think it's meant to be like a wallet. And a photo of the guys. $1 billion bill. That's funny. This is really cool. There's so much art inside of CDs that you just don't see. Again, because it's not going to be on YouTube when you're going through the songs individually. So here's all of this. So it's got that. And then on the inside, it has the song names on the coin. So, yeah. Alright. That is Alice Cooper as a band that I have. The next one is not Welcome to My Nightmare, of course. It is Goes to Hell. Because I really like this album. This was the third album I heard online. Because I heard Welcome to My Nightmare and this one. And then Hey Stupid. I took those songs off of YouTube. So I had already heard those songs before I started getting CDs. But this was like the second CD I bought from Alice Cooper after the compilation one. So, 1976, because Welcome to My Nightmare is 1975. This, you look it up online and also you're hearing it, and it's kind of supposed to be a general second concept album. It's supposed to be a follow-up to Welcome to My Nightmare. So here's the inside. I don't really take this CD out often. I've heard all the songs. I do every once in a while bring it up on YouTube and just listen to a song once. But it's been a while since I've actually listened to this CD in my car. So everyone's heard Go to Hell. And I'm Always Chasing Rainbows is pretty popular. He did it at his last concert I went to. With Judas Priest and Corrosion of Conformity. Yes, I saw that. So I don't care for some of these, but there's a lot of grief songs. My favorite out of the whole album has got to be I Wish You Were Here, cuz that's just so fun. It's a spin on a sad circumstance that the concept album is in, but it's such a good song, such a fun song. So, Goes to Hell. Here we go. And you can tell Bob Ezrin. That name is important, I'm pretty sure. He was on the live stream for Revenge to Alice Cooper. I don't remember if he was a band member as well. Oh, wow. So it is a sequel! Okay. Got all the lyrics. Oh, and Give the Kid a Break. That is another fun one. I've listened to it enough times, though, that I don't need to listen to it again. But I do every once in a while go back and listen to Wish You Were Here. So that's that. This is one of his stronger albums. I'm trying to think of another word. I really enjoy... I prefer... It's way better when Alice Cooper does concept albums. The Revenge of Alice Cooper was not a concept album. Constrictor, 1986, I think. I'll get to it. But that one's actually good. It's not a concept album, but that's just a fun album. Half the songs are sex songs. So, but it's a fun album. It's good. Alice Cooper is better as a concept artist. Concept album artist. I don't like him when he has... I don't like his recent stuff, also. We'll get to that. The next one I have jumps to 1978. It is From the Inside. The story of this I see online is on Wikipedia, because I actually looked this one up, is that From the Inside is because he was in a psych ward at the time. Now, you may know that at the early 80s, he kind of had a relapse. And I cannot find any of the CDs he produced at the time. I know Zipper. Is that where I'm getting Zipper from? I brought it up earlier. There's several CDs that he wrote that he says he has no recollection of, and I can never find the CD in print. So I'm probably never going to get to it. But that's okay. I know it's all on YouTube, but I want it as a CD. I don't use YouTube for music unless I'm listening to, you know, another song that I have in CD form. I want to see everything organically as a CD. I don't want to just bring it up on YouTube and it's like, okay, now I have it. No, I don't. I don't have a CD for it. I have my phone taped up. By the way, it is taped against my car window. So that's why it keeps moving around. The tape's kind of falling off. But from the inside, lyrics. The only one I really, really don't like is Millie and Billy. It's some love story, but it's also like, I felt like they were twins. And it's just weird. I've only listened to it once. I really don't like the sound of it. I guess we got a black and white one. Next, this is going to be a bit of a jump because it is to Constrictor, and this is 1986. So we went from 1978 to 86. This one is so fun. This is the one with all the sex songs, as I was saying. You know, everyone knows Teenage Frankenstein. That's it. For the album. He's back, the man behind the mask. This is the 80s album for Alice Cooper. There is so much synth, and you can feel the Alice Cooper in most of this, and it's obviously his voice. This one though made me laugh so hard when it showed up because it's not Alice Cooper by any means. This is like really, really 80s pop. So this is his 80s theme album. I like this, but then you realize that he's hanging inside. Is it again? Lyrics. Okay, I guess a lot of these have lyrics. A lot of CDs I have don't have lyrics on the inside. I'm not used to having so many CDs, so many lyrics on here. The Great American Success Story. I look it up online and I think it's from some movie, and it was supposed to be a movie soundtrack, which is what it sounds like. It's not in a movie, which is why it does not say it was in a movie. It only says the Friday the 13th one. Alright, next one. 1989. This is the one that a lot of people know the songs from. Alice Cooper's Trash. This is a really good album. It's a lot of love songs, though. It's a lot more emotional than Constrictor is, even though they're only a couple years apart. They're definitely in the same romantic realm. They're romance, but this one's got a darker turn. All the songs are really good. I'm Your Gun is following with the Constrictor album, but I just don't like how it sounds. Why Trust You? I like that one. So this album is like a breakup romance song album, you know. At the inside, I already started taking that out. It's pretty damaged. Wow. In comparison to the other stuff, this is yellowed. So yeah, this is actual paper. The other ones had some sort of coating on them. This is an actual paper, except for, you know, this one. So you can see the color difference. These are different. Anyway, next one, 1991. Yes. Hey Stupid, which is another song that everyone knows. So this one is similar. Obviously has a different style to it. So I don't think of it as being in the same realm of Trash. I don't connect these two. When you're looking at them right next to each other, and it's like, oh yeah, these songs, yeah, they're in the same realm. Look at that, man. Look at that photo shoot. Isn't that so cool? Print that out and put it on my wall. That's so cool. Don't do that. I don't want I don't want that. But print it out and put it on my wall. That's crazy. This is the same image that's on this and on this. That's crazy, dude. I'm sorry. You're really trying to sell to the sex appeal, and I don't. Was Alice Cooper ever a sex appeal thing? Was that ever something he's known for? That's crazy. You open it, it's like that. On the other side is this. Okay, let's actually open up. So it's got all the lyrics here. Still being produced by Alive Enterprises. So he's got quite the contract with them. See, here's the Zia Records sticker. It's different than the Bookman's here. It's different than the Bookman's. See? So, you can take this off. It has tape. I just don't take it off. Right, next one is 1994. The Last Temptation. This is such a good album. It's also a concept album. So he's back to doing concept albums. That is where his strength is at. Not as Detroit Stories and Breadcrumbs and, you know, On the Road and all of that. He's dying. Stop, please. Please go back to doing concept albums because he's so good at it. He's got such the voice for it. Look at that. Yeah. Anyway, he's got such the voice for it, such the cadence, but I wouldn't say he's strong as a lyricist anymore. Kind of run out of things. This also folds out. So look at that. Got, what is that? Lyrics. What? This is comics on the other side? Look at that. Yeah, put that on your wall. Print that out and put it on your wall. It's got a comic. You've heard the music. Now read the stories of The Last Temptation in a 3-part comic book series from Marvel Comics. The Sandman creator Neil Gaiman and drawn by Michael Zulli. The Last Temptation comic books will be available at comic book stores everywhere and are essential companion pieces to this Alice Cooper album. Well, I guess it's essential. I don't know. Someone used a hole puncher for hearts, for card hearts. Spades, is that what it is? Spades. I wouldn't say it's essential to the album, but that's really cool. Maybe I heard about that. Maybe I read about it. I don't know. Just look at all the detail on this dude. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's essential, because you definitely get the story from this. I will say, though, track number 4 was meant to be a single, and it obviously sounds like a single. It's so out of the same realm as everything else. So, you got Sideshow, Nothing Secret, blah, blah, blah. Oh, track 3, Lost in America. Now that one, you probably heard. Probably the only one except for You're My Temptation. That's the other popular one. Lost in America does not fit the album in any way. Come on, please. I get that you're supposed to do it as a CD. It can't, can it be put out as a single and you just buy a CD with the one song on it? Probably not. This is such a strong concept album, though. If you're gonna listen to an Alice Cooper CD, it's gonna be this one. Did I do that wrong? I put that back in wrong. But if you're gonna listen to the entirety of any Alice Cooper CD, have it be this one. It is so good. And this one and the next one, Dragontown, you can clearly tell how strong and how large of a production these were. And it does so well. Everything is so good. Cleansed by Fire, there's a part at the end where the devil laughs. I'm not kidding. And it's so goofy, but the rest of the song is so good. So it's just that one laugh just is so unserious, but the rest of the song is so good. So this, out of anything, if you're going to listen to an Alice Cooper CD, listen to that one. Next up is 2002, but it also says 2001. So when you look it up online, it'll either say 2001 or 2002. So just know that it says on the album that it is both years. This is Dragontown. It is a sleeve. And again, really cool. So in my head, I put these two together. They're not the same, but they're both his religious albums. And they're both such high quality, such high production. He really shines in these. This is what I mean when it's like related to the album, but you're not going to see it in any part of the album. So it's this type of detail on the actual CD itself. I've never looked at what the second one is. Maybe I have. It says bonus CD. Clowns Will Eat Me, Go to Hell Live, Ballad of Dwight Fry Live, Brutal Planet Remix, and then 2 videos. I think I went through that CD once. I just don't care. Although, speaking of Brutal Planet, I can never find that album. That is the one Alice Cooper album that I actually want. I have so many others that there's not really anything I don't have, but except Brutal Planet. And he sung Brutal Planet the song at the last concert, and I only realized it when he got through, like, halfway through of it, and I was like, oh, this is what it is. That's the one CD I don't have. I can never find it. But he played it in concert, unlike those early 80s CDs that he says he doesn't remember because he was so high all the time. So, he claims it as his. Brutal Planet is not forgotten. I just cannot find the CD anywhere. This is another big one. Wow, I guess he was in a phase at this time where it's just a bunch of posters. So, or maybe not even posters, just a bunch of photos. But the lyrics, look at these photo shoots and then compare it to this. And this looks so grainy. I've never, obviously, again, never opened these up, so I never noticed. But wow, that sure is a different photo. And by the way, it's a special edition. That's why it has the cover on this, is because this was a special edition. This one is very through and through a concept album. It is like Goes to Hell, where it's one guy going through it all. So this, you go through all the songs, you can tell it's from like one guy's perspective of going through all these agony and guilt and religious feelings. This one's really strong. This one is equally strong, but it's not a straight chronological order kind of concept album. But this one's got Somewhere in the Jungle. So good. That's about, like, the proxy wars. Never talked about in history, and I took AP history both years of high school. AP US history and AP world history. And we never talked about the Vietnam or the Korean War beyond. It was proxy wars after World War II. There's no information. I see, especially Native men, older Native men who served in the war, they have their Vietnam veteran hats, they have their bumper stickers on their cars. So it's very much a lot more presence in Flagstaff because of the Native population in comparison to where I'm from, in North Seattle. Also, no direct mention of the Japanese encampments, and I know there was at least one in Washington State. I looked it up at the time in high school, but there was no talking about the local effects. It was just the AP curriculum. The thing that everyone knows, which is Kent University, Kent State, whatever university had the cops come in, had that whole thing. Never heard anything specific about it, though. I just heard, like, oh, some students died, yada yada. No, like, actual talk about the build-up to that point. No talk about the aftermath. Nothing. Except for in the Devo documentary I watched on Netflix, like, last month. And it's like, that's where the band started. Because they were students at the time it happened. And it's like, wow, I'm actually getting details on this thing that everyone can, briefly bring up, but not actually be able to talk about, because it's not actually talked about. It's just, oh, the government did that. And it's like, okay, and what was the build-up? What was the local politics? What happened? Anyway, Somewhere in the Jungle. Somewhere in the Jungle is one of my favorite songs on this album. The Centennial, I never heard that word before. I don't know what the Centennial is. I always pronounced it as Sentinel. Sentinel? Centennial! I'm saying Centennial! Okay, like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is, and I've never looked it up because I just want it to stay in the CD. I don't need to know everything. I just need to know how good the song is. But anyway, this one is by Spitfire Records, though. So this is not the previous ones. Was this also? This is Epic Records. So yeah, at this point his contract was over. And he's doing a bunch of religious stuff. He is a Christian. Breadcrumbs. So this is a big gap between 2002 and 2024. That is not right. Oh, this one, the live CD, is also 2002. Yeah, there's nothing on the inside. It's just a paper with some soda spit on it. So before Breadcrumbs 2024, we have Road, which is what I said earlier with On the Road. This is what I'm referring to. It's just Road. It's not On the Road or anything. It's just Road. And then 2021. So this was like his comeback thing, I'm pretty sure, because I don't have any CDs between Dragontown and this, and that's quite a gap for Alice Cooper of all people. I don't know what happened. I haven't looked it up. I just go based off of the CDs. But I did see a guy at the store I used to work at. He was wearing a Detroit Stories hoodie. And I was like, oh, wow, that's probably like $80. Or more than that, because there's a... Last year at some point, there was a zip-up hoodie, zip-up jacket that was put on the Alice Cooper website. I've never looked up the DVD. Go Man Go, you probably heard. That's the one I remember, at least. All of this... Independent Dave, $100,000 high heel shoes. Can you tell from my demeanor that I just don't like his recent stuff? It's what he wants to do. I don't have to like everything. It's fine. Okay, it's not a personal thing. Whatever. He just could do better. He could put out like one really, really strong last album. That's a concept album. And like Dragontown or like The Last Temptation, maybe it's religious, maybe it won't be, but he could do a really strong concept album, and that could be the last thing he ever writes. That could be his ending thing. But on the end, and so that's what I think he should do. I know, me talking to a man who's been in the business for so many decades, doing so many things, and he put out The Revenge of Alice Cooper last year in the summer. So he's doing stuff, and he's doing what he wants to, and I listened to the live stream of them talking in London, but I just think he has so much strength in better songs. It's not that the production is bad. It's not. It's just the lyrics, man. So this, Detroit Stories. See, here they are. Here's the band. So the 3 guys, 1 girl, and then Alice Cooper. I'm glad he doesn't do any songs from Detroit Stories. I don't like his recent stuff. I don't. I think he has so much strength as his dramatics and his voice and just everything other than the actual lyrics part. Bob Seger. We got Bob Seger here. I feel like I knew that. That's Detroit Stories. There's no cover on it. It's just slipping and sliding like this. And then we have The Road, which is another slipping and sliding. This one's better because it's got I'm Alice and Welcome to the Show, which he uses in his shows. So that's what they were made for. Really cool cover, though. And then all I can think about is the Joker meme of the stairs. It's been a long time since I've looked inside this. It's been a long time. And then Live at Hellfest 2022. Yeah, so there's another live album. similar production to Detroit Stories. It's got the same band and all. This one's better. So this is what fell out, but it's another flipping through it. And I've looked at this before. It's got all the lyrics in a nice style. I like it. I like that bold part. It really sets it apart. Having that background on the titles. White Line Frankenstein. That one's good, actually. It's one of the better ones. This guy's not on stage. This young man. I don't know who that guy is. This one's better. I like this one better. I could probably listen to this whole album through and be okay with it. And then Breadcrumbs, which has Go Man Go. These are like extras from, I guess, Detroit Stories, because that's what it sounds like. It's weird it's like 3 years apart, but it's the same feel, same sound as Detroit Stories. What the heck? What is this? Where it's like that, you know? Okay. Ooh, and Alive Records. Alive Records is on this. Is he back to Alive Records? Alive Enterprises? I mean, my shirts. So this is Alice Cooper. I'll show a picture here. And then it's got it on the back. But I bought these rattlesnake bone earrings. And to go with my shirt, because it's got snakes on it. So this was the first Alice Cooper shirt I bought. And then I bought 2 at last year. At pretty much the same time, I bought the tickets for his concert with Judas Priest and Corrosion of Conformity. So I went to that at the end of October. That was amazing. It was half an hour of Corrosion of Conformity, then an hour of Judas Priest, and then an hour of Alice Cooper. And he actually did a storyline, which at the first Alice Cooper I went to, I did a trip, and at the end of it was the Alice Cooper concert. So that was a lot of earlier songs. That was what it was. It was really good for a concert by myself. And then last year in October 2025, I saw him again. And I really liked that 1 hour. Even though it was shorter. It was shorter. It wasn't an hour and a half, hour 45, whatever the first concert was. It had a storyline. And he did do Cold Ethel, but he put it in with the storyline. It was a general storyline. It wasn't like, it was his songs. It wasn't, like everything all together, completely wrapped up and it's a complete story. No, it's a bunch of different songs from a bunch of different albums. He did Brutal Planet. So like the first half wasn't the story, but you got later into the concert and you can see that there was a story for it. There was a theme. It was so good. I got the 5th row, and I saw everything so well. His Revenge of Alice Cooper. I did not buy that CD. I listened to the live stream of it. It released, pre-sale was there for a while. It was open for a while. And it was a live stream in a church, and they were talking about it. First hour was listening to the CD as a whole, going through the tracks one by one. And then the second hour was them in London talking. So getting questions from the guy who was interviewing him, getting questions from the audience. I really appreciate the work he's doing. I appreciate that he's doing what he wants to do. There's stuff, and if you like that stuff, but I want harder hidden stuff and more story-driven stuff like Dragontown and The Last Temptation. That's what I like. And Love It to Death. These three, The Ballad of Dwight Fry is the middle song of a story. Hallowed Be My Name, I don't consider that part of the story. That and Second Comin' are, I guess you can find comparisons in that, but I just don't, I consider the last 3 songs to be the story. So I really like this album. Obviously, a very big Alice Cooper fan because I have so many CDs. And I will never stop appreciating and listening to his stuff. But I just didn't buy The Revenge of Alice Cooper. I will buy Brutal Planet. I will buy that one when I find it. Cheers to Alice Cooper for providing me with so many hours of listening. How many is this? 16! I have 16 Alice Cooper CDs. And only one of them I haven't listened to. That's my collection. I have at least 100 other CDs of other bands.